Part 1, the silent code of the outsider. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately sensed something was off? No one said a word. No one did anything. But something inside you whispered, "This isn't right." And then, days later, the truth came out. What you felt was real. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is what happens when the mind detaches from noise and learns to listen to a deeper signal. This is the terrain of highly intelligent loners, those rare individuals who move through life with a quiet certainty, trusting an inner compass that rarely fails. We live in a world obsessed with loudness, loud opinions, loud emotions, loud validation. But the loner moves in silence. While the crowd debates, the loner observes. While others seek approval, the loner seeks alignment with truth, with intuition, with reality. There's a reason why Nietzsche said, the individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. Because the tribe demands conformity. The loner, on the other hand, demands clarity. And clarity only comes in solitude. Highly intelligent loners are not antisocial. They are anti-falsehood. They reject the artificial rhythm of the herd because they hear something more subtle, a kind of inner resonance that guides their decisions. This gut instinct isn't magic. It's deeply rational. It's the result of years of observation, self-reflection, and a refusal to lie to oneself. When you remove the noise of society, of social media, of constant comparison, you begin to hear the quiet hum of truth. And once you hear it, you never unhear it. But here's the paradox. Because they trust their gut and because their gut is usually right, these individuals are often accused of arrogance. People assume they're cold, dismissive, or out of touch. But in reality, they are deeply attuned to themselves, to the world, to the invisible patterns that others miss. Socrates was called corrupt. Galileo was imprisoned. Jung was ridiculed. And yet they were all right. Why? Because they trusted what they saw, even when no one else could see it. Are you brave enough to do the same? We must understand something. The gut is not just emotion. It's the synthesis of all our knowledge, experiences, and subconscious processing compressed into a single feeling. In psychology, this is called thin slicing, the ability to make accurate judgments with minimal information. Malcolm Gladwell popularized it, but loners have practiced it for centuries. They walk into a situation and feel the truth long before the facts emerge. It's not because they're psychic. It's because they've trained themselves to listen to the subtle, unspoken language of reality.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
Now let's go deeper. Why does solitude amplify this ability? Because solitude is a mirror. It shows you who you are without distortion. In solitude, your thoughts are not interrupted. Your emotions are not manipulated. Your values are not diluted. You begin to see your mind as it actually is, not as society wants it to be. And from this place of raw awareness, the gut becomes sharper, faster, and more accurate. The loner doesn't just think. They feel the truth. And when they act on it, they often appear prophetic. There's something you must understand about intelligence. It's not just the ability to analyze data or solve equations. True intelligence is the ability to see patterns where others see chaos. And loners, particularly highly intelligent ones, spend so much time outside the noise that they begin to see the invisible architecture of reality. They sense what's about to happen because they've seen the cycle before. They recognize the shape of truth before it fully forms. And they trust it, even when logic hasn't caught up yet. Pause and ask yourself this: when was the last time you ignored a gut feeling and regretted it? Why did you ignore it? Was it peer pressure? Fear of being wrong? Desire to fit in? Understand this: every time you ignore your gut, you betray yourself. And every time you trust it, even if the outcome looks uncertain, you strengthen your connection to your inner wisdom. This is the loner's path, not easy, not popular, but profoundly powerful. Plato once said, "A wise man speaks because he has something to say, a fool because he has to say something." The loner speaks rarely, but when they do, it's often unforgettable. Why? Because their words are forged in silence. They are not repeating what others say. They are revealing what others feel but cannot articulate. And this is why their gut is so often right, because it is rooted in silence, shaped by solitude, and sharpened by observation. Let's look at the psychology behind this. Carl Jung believed in the concept of individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are by integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of yourself. It's a lonely road, but it's the only road to authenticity. The highly intelligent loner is someone deep in the process of individuation. They have met their shadow. They have confronted their demons. They are not afraid of discomfort. And because of this, they can make decisions that others shy away from. They are not driven by fear. They are driven by truth. Think about the great minds in history: Einstein, Tesla, Kafka, Thoreau. All loners, all deeply intuitive, all misunderstood. And yet, they changed the world. Why? Because they trusted what they saw, even when no one else validated it. They didn't need applause. They didn't need permission. They knew, and they acted. This is the power of the gut when it is refined by solitude and tempered by intelligence. Now here's the challenge for you. In a world screaming for your attention, can you be still? In a world obsessed with speed, can you slow down and listen? Not to the world, not to the news, but to you. Can you trust that quiet voice that doesn't shout but whispers? That doesn't demand but reveals? That doesn't argue but knows? Because the gut is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not flashy. It is patient. It waits for you to be quiet enough to hear it. And when you do, it will guide you not to the easy path, but to the true path. And that is where the real power lies. You see, the highly intelligent loner doesn't just want to be right. They want to be real. They want to live in a way that aligns with their deepest knowing. And that knowing comes from within. It comes from the gut. And it is rarely wrong, but here's the twist. Being right doesn't always mean being rewarded. Sometimes it means being rejected, being misunderstood, being alone again. But the loner accepts this because they are not here to be liked. They are here to see. They are here to know. They are here to live truly. So I ask you, what is your gut saying right now? Are you ignoring it? Are you suppressing it? Or are you listening deeply, patiently, courageously? Because the moment you begin to trust that voice, you step into a different kind of life. A life where clarity replaces confusion, where silence becomes sacred, where being alone becomes a superpower, and where being right isn't about ego, but about alignment with truth. The highly intelligent loner walks this path every day, not because it's easy, but because it's real. Part 2, the sacred isolation of knowing. There comes a point in every highly intelligent loner's life where they stop explaining themselves, not out of pride, but out of clarity. They look around and realize that most people aren't seeking truth, they're seeking comfort. And the truth, when it's raw and unfiltered, is anything but comfortable. The loner feels this deeply. They've tasted the bitterness of knowing. They've seen what others deny. And they've learned that trusting their gut often means walking alone through a world addicted to illusions. Let's bring in some ancient wisdom. Lao Tzu said, "He who knows does not speak." He who speaks does not know. Why does this resonate so much with the intelligent loner? Because they've discovered something profound. The deeper the truth, the harder it is to express. Words become a limitation. Language begins to fail. And so they retreat not out of superiority, but out of reverence for the unspeakable. They begin to live in alignment with what they feel, not what they can prove. And this is where their gut becomes a sacred compass. Psychologically, this is the territory of what Maslow called the self-actualized individual. These are people who operate from a place of inner fulfillment rather than external approval. They don't conform, not because they're rebels, but because they've outgrown the need to pretend. Their intuition becomes their primary guide, not in some mystical way, but in a deeply grounded, experiential way. They've seen patterns repeat. They've watched people lie to themselves. They've noticed how the world rewards confidence over competence. And slowly, they begin to trust the signal inside more than the noise outside. This creates a tension. Because when you start living this way, when you trust your gut and you're usually right, you become hard to manipulate. You become immune to emotional blackmail, social pressure, and groupthink. And this threatens people. They will call you arrogant, distant, even cold. But in truth, you are simply choosing clarity over chaos. You are refusing to betray yourself just to make others feel comfortable. And that is the loner's quiet rebellion. Let's pause for a moment and ask a serious question. Can you handle being right if it means standing alone? Can you live with the weight of knowing when others would rather stay blind? This is not a rhetorical question. It is a test of your character. Because knowledge is not just power, it is responsibility. And when your gut tells you something that the world isn't ready to hear, you have to choose. Betray your truth or betray yourself. The intelligent loner always chooses the latter. They would rather be misunderstood than misaligned. They would rather be alone than inauthentic. This is not a sacrifice, it is a liberation. Because when you stop needing the world to understand you, you begin to understand yourself. And that is where real freedom begins. There's also a neurological explanation here. The gut-brain connection is not metaphorical, it's literal. The enteric nervous system, often called the second brain, contains over 100 million neurons. It communicates with the brain through the vagus nerve, transmitting emotional and intuitive data constantly. What we call a gut feeling is often the result of complex, subconscious data processing. The highly intelligent loner learns to read these signals with precision, not because they're magical, but because they're attentive. They notice the tightening in their stomach when something feels off. They pay attention to the sudden stillness in their mind when a decision is right. They don't dismiss these sensations as irrational. They honor them, they decode them, and they act on them. While others demand evidence, the loner moves with certainty because to them, the gut is evidence. It's the sum total of their lived experience, condensed into a single flash of knowing. This is why they're often ahead of their time. They see what's coming before others do. They sense shifts in energy, in people, in trends. They don't need a consensus. They don't need proof. They just know. And this knowing, when honored, becomes their greatest asset. It guides them through relationships, careers, crises. It saves them from traps others walk into blindly. But it comes at a cost. The cost is loneliness, because when you see clearly, you often see alone. The intelligent loner walks through life like a ghost, present but unseen. They watch others chase illusions, knowing where it leads. They hear lies spoken as truth and feel the weight of silence more than the noise of words. It's not depression, it's depth. It's not cynicism, it's clarity. Nietzsche once wrote, And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. The loner hears the music. They live by a rhythm that others can't perceive. And this rhythm, this internal cadence, is what makes their gut so accurate. It's not just instinct, it's alignment with a deeper order, a more subtle reality. Now here's a question that might change your life. What if your gut has been right all along, but you've been too afraid to follow it? What if the life you're meant to live is already whispering to you, but you're drowning it out with noise, opinions, distractions? What would happen if, for just one day, you trusted your gut completely? What decisions would you make? What truths would you finally admit? The loner lives in this question daily, and because of that, they live differently. They move slower, but with purpose. They speak less, but with weight. They love selectively, but deeply. They know that intuition is not infallible, but it is sacred. It is the closest thing we have to a compass in a world that has lost its direction. From a psychological standpoint, this is also about cognitive style. Highly intelligent loners often score high in openness to experience and introspection. They're not quick to judge. They let ideas breathe. They let silence speak. This patience with ambiguity allows their gut to marinate. They don't rush decisions, they allow the answer to rise. And when it does, it's usually right. They also understand something most people don't: the difference between reaction and response. A reaction is emotional, immediate, often chaotic. A response is intuitive, grounded, often quiet. The gut doesn't react, it responds. And the loner, through years of solitude and self-reflection, learns to tell the difference. So when they say no, it's not out of fear, it's out of knowing. When they walk away, it's not rejection, it's recognition. They're not avoiding conflict, they're avoiding distortion, because they know that clarity is more valuable than connection, and truth is more essential than popularity. Let's go deeper still. The loner's intuition is not just personal, it's archetypal. Carl Jung would say they are tapping into the collective unconscious. They are picking up on symbols, movements, energies that transcend the individual. This is why their insights often seem universal. They are not just thinking, they are channeling, not in a mystical sense, but in a deeply psychological one. They are tuned into something larger, something ancient, and this is why they can't be easily fooled. They've seen too much, they've felt too much. They know when someone's words don't match their energy. They know when a situation is too clean to be real. They don't need evidence, they feel the dissonance, and they walk away before the storm hits. Others call it luck. The loner knows it's alignment. But here's the final twist. The loner doesn't want to be right for the sake of superiority. They want to be right to stay in integrity. Their gut is not a weapon, it's a shield. It protects their peace, their purpose, their path. And when they trust it, they don't just survive, they thrive. Quietly, invisibly, powerfully. So again, I ask you, are you willing to trust your gut even if it costs you everything? Because that is the price of truth. But it is also the birthplace of freedom. Part 3, the invisible power of inner alignment. There is a moment in every intelligent loner's journey when they stop looking for signs and become the sign. They no longer wait for confirmation from the outside because the confirmation is already within. They don't ask, "Is this right?" They feel it. And that feeling becomes the blueprint for every decision, every boundary, every escape. This is not arrogance. It is sovereignty. When you reach this point, you don't just trust your gut, you become it. Every cell in your body becomes a compass pointing toward truth. Ayn Rand once said, "The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me." This captures the essence of the loner's power. When you move from gut alignment, external permission becomes irrelevant. You are no longer asking to be understood, accepted, or validated. You are simply moving in the direction of deepest knowing. The world may not understand your steps, but it will feel your presence. Because when someone walks in full alignment, the atmosphere changes. But let's ground this in real life. What does it actually look like to trust your gut and be right? It looks like walking away from a relationship that looks perfect on paper, but feels hollow in your soul. It looks like turning down a high-paying job because something in your chest tightens every time you think about saying yes. It looks like starting a new path with no guarantees, just a quiet, unshakable sense that this is it. And here's the beautiful part. Every time you honor that feeling, your life starts to arrange itself around your truth. This is where the magic begins. The moment you stop betraying your gut, synchronicity shows up. Doors open, people appear, opportunities align. Why? Because the universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are. And when who you are is congruent with what you feel, you become a magnet for alignment. The loner lives in this frequency. It's not that they have the answers, it's that they have the courage to follow the questions to their end. But let's not romanticize it. There is pain here too. There are sleepless nights. There are moments of self-doubt. There are days when trusting your gut looks like failure to the outside world. But the loner knows the truth. The gut is not here to make you comfortable, it's here to make you free. And freedom costs. It costs popularity. It costs certainty. It costs the illusion of safety. But what you gain is something priceless: peace. This peace is not the absence of noise. It's the presence of clarity. It's knowing that even if everything falls apart, you didn't lie to yourself. You didn't sell your soul for acceptance. You didn't abandon your path to fit someone else's map. That kind of peace is rare, and it is the loner's most sacred possession. Here's something psychology rarely talks about: how exhausting it is to lie to yourself. To stay in a life that your body is constantly rejecting. To smile through conversations that feel like poison. To agree with ideas that make your stomach turn. The intelligent loner doesn't have the tolerance for this. Their gut won't allow it. And this is why they often seem distant. They are not rejecting you. They are rejecting the role you want them to play. So what happens when a loner fully steps into this power? They become untouchable, not in a prideful way, but in a liberated way. They can't be guilt-tripped because their decisions come from deep integrity. They can't be manipulated because they've seen the game too many times. They can't be seduced by false promises because their gut already decoded the lie. They move through the world like a shadow, impossible to catch, impossible to control. This is not to say they don't feel. Quite the opposite. They feel everything. But their feelings don't own them, they inform them. They've developed emotional mastery not by suppressing emotions, but by understanding them. They know that anxiety is not always fear, it's sometimes intuition misnamed. They know that sadness is not always weakness, it's often clarity emerging. And they use every emotion as data. This is the gut at full capacity. Emotional intelligence fused with inner knowing. Let's return to the teachings of ancient philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The loner takes this further. The soul becomes dyed with the energy it allows. So they become ruthless about what they let in. People, conversations, environments. They don't just protect their time, they protect their energy. Because they know that energy is the language of the gut. And if your energy is off, your intuition gets cloudy. So they simplify, they declutter, they prioritize stillness. Not because they're antisocial, but because they're pro-truth. They would rather sit in silence than swim in small talk. They would rather lose friends than lose themselves. And this again is why they are so often right. Because they don't trade their knowing for companionship. They let truth be their closest companion. Now here's a deeper question. What if the entire point of your intelligence was to protect your intuition? What if all your knowledge, all your reflection, all your observation was simply training you to trust that quiet voice inside? What if that was the final evolution of intelligence, not analysis, but alignment? Because the loner doesn't just want to understand the world. They want to live in harmony with it. And the gut is the tuning fork. When something is off, it rings. When something is right, it hums. And the loner listens not because they have to, but because they can't not. Ignoring it would be a betrayal too deep to bear. This is where the journey ends or perhaps begins. The intelligent loner, by trusting their gut, doesn't become perfect. They become real. They don't avoid mistakes, but their mistakes are honest. Their failures are authentic. Their path is theirs, and that is the ultimate success. So let's bring it home. Are you listening to your gut or silencing it? Are your decisions aligned with your truth or your fears? Are you living for applause or for peace? Because when you trust your gut, and your gut is trained in the fires of solitude, reflection, and truth, you won't just be right. You'll be free. And in a world where everyone is trying to be liked, that is the most radical thing you can be. To those who walk alone, to those who feel too much, to those who know before they're told, you are not broken. You are not lost. You are not too much.